Hello everyone, this is Matt Kwan, editor-in-chief of Moar.com, and I'm here with Dustin Nguyen, comic book artist, and doing an interview with him at New York Comic Con 2013. So Dustin, first off, how has your New York Comic Con experience been? What's it been like here so far?
It's great. I like New York. It's my one time a year to visit New York. You know, it's a novelty, and I like New York Comic Con because I love the setup we got here where we get our own little hall for Artist Alley. You know? So yeah, it's great. I like it.
So how many times have you been here now?
Oh God, I've been here since 2005, 2006.
A lot of years, right?
That one year where they held it in February instead of the fall.
Yeah, when they used to be it used to be early in the year.
Yeah, and it had snow.
So awesome. So I wanted to know how you broke into when and how you broke into DC. It was back in 2000, right?
Back in 2000, yeah. Back in 2000, I was just trying like everyone else. We just do samples, and at the time I was doing a 3D design for aerospace and stuff, which is great. But I love 3D and SLA and 3D printing and all that. But at the end of the night, I would go home and I'd draw comics, and while I was stuck in traffic, I live in California, I was stuck in traffic a lot. There I'd think of scripts and what I want to draw, and at night just work, go home, work on samples, and pretty soon I got it to where I had to do more samples to be more productive. So I would work half a year, save up, and then it was when there was only 2 cons a year. There was Chicago and New York. So I'd save up all year, and then during that time of year, I'd I'd spend all that money to travel and hopefully get editors' attention. And in 1999, Wildstorm, gave me a call. Yeah, I did San Diego and Chicago back to back, and I kept bugging editors. I was dropping off samples everywhere, meeting every editor. It got to the point where every editor was like, "Oh, go meet him." And when I went, they're like, "Oh, I guess they sent me back." And they got sick of seeing me, so they called me in. Went to Wildstorm and gave me my first gig on Jet. Yeah.
Awesome. So I wanted to ask, you've done some really great covers before.
Thank you, man.
Especially for Batman Beyond Unlimited. I can think of some of your more recent covers from Batman Beyond Unlimited. So what's your thought process when you're just doing a cover? How do you approach that?
You want to make it sell. You want to grab them in, but there's 2 approaches. There's one where it's more plot driven. It's where you actually know the story and you want to make it relatable to the story. But as far as say you're doing something like a first issue, a launch or something, there's no one knows the story yet, and you want to grab them in the first. So those you go for more of a, I wouldn't say pinup, because there's a difference between a pinup and a cover. A pinup is more just showing everything you got, whatever. Cover would be more like showing what you got and get them intrigued in the book. The problem with, and then we have plot-driven ones, which are more what's going on in the story. But it's really tough because sometimes we work maybe 3-4 months ahead on a cover just to get it solicited, and the scripts aren't in. So you have to kind of go on the fly. The thought process is always the same. It's do a really good cover that'll get their attention, and depending on the subject of the book or the character, you go from there.
All right, awesome. And just going on, I want to talk about a little bit about, you've done a lot of Batman stuff. Is there something about the character that really stands out to you? That
I just really like Batman. I came, I went during the whole refugee boat kind of thing, so stuck at sea, and when I came to America, the first toy my mom got me was a Batman toy, and it was kind of it's one of the things where you've been through a lot, and then it's something about pop culture that lightens the mood. And as a kid, I thought you don't speak English, you don't know anyone, you're moving around a lot, your family's kind of there's something about pop culture that will tie you to still being a kid no matter what you go through. So, and Batman was my iconic pop culture.
Okay, and moving on from that, we can't not talk about Batman without talking about your most Little Gotham.
Little Gotham, yeah.
So what was what was the creative process behind that? What the idea? Let's
the style. I grew up on Street Fighter. I did all tournaments and everything. I'd probably kick everyone's ass. But see that ego? And I grew up on Street Fighter. Then they came out with this thing called Puzzle Fighter, and they were just drawing stylized versions of characters in small version. And I thought it was fun. And I flipped through the art book by Bingus and stuff, and I was like, wow, this is really fun. That's how I kind of first started that watercolor sketchy style, to keep the energy going. And I started doing it at conventions and taking a break from normal gritty Batman. I would do that for fun. And in 2006 or 5, I pitched it to DC as a snow globe set. And it didn't go anywhere because no one really buys snow globes. And yeah, it just sat around. I just pushed it back and forth. Finally, digital came up.
Digital came up.
And they're like, let's try it. Why not? If it fails, pairs, you know, because it's digital. Because you know you can actually do 10 pages a week, and so we pitched it. Derek and I, we pitched 12 stories. Eventually, they gave us 24, so which is better than we asked for. And yeah, from there we just
it's been a big hit now. So
yeah, it's you know it's super fun, man.
It's super fun to work on. So I guess like that's all really. And if there's anything you want to say to your fans like out there that can't make it to Comic-Con, or
just thank you, man. Thanks everyone. You know, like a year ago, if they told me, hey, you know, can you sign my little Gothams? I was like, wow, we're actually doing this book, you know? It's amazing, and I think a lot of it came to the response that we get online from, you know, my DeviantArt, my Facebook, my Tumblr, and everything. They're always helping out, and then, you know, I think it helped push a product that, you know, would otherwise be really hard to pass through, you know. And yeah, thank you.
All right, yeah, thank you so much, and so keep it here at MoarPower.com for all your New York Comic Con 2013 updates and news. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, man.